It's a Do Sports Show, live every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. Thank you for tuning in. Yours truly, Alphas Deuce. We're here another week. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. We're blessed to see another week. I'm yours truly, Alphas Deuce, and also you have Brother Mitch on the ones and twos. Let's get right into it, man. We got a lot to talk about. Not too much time, you know. Uh, I got to make better effort to have my whole 2 hours so I get even more into even more stuff. But hey, I'll take an hour and 20 to get it in. I could make that work. Um, I and it, I was just walking in here, guys, right? And this is something that this stems from something that I wanted to talk about. Um, even before um I came back. I've been back 3 shows now, and there's been stories. There were stories that was out that I was passionate about, that I wanted to talk about, but you know, because of whatever I had going on, and I couldn't make the show for that period of time, and also, was so overwhelmed that I couldn't do a podcast at home to delve into it. Um, but the time went and came and went. So now my mind says, like, you know what, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know, the time came and went. I'm not gonna come back a while back and bring it back up. You get what I'm saying? So there's something that happened today that you know, it's a story that you hear, and you start to think about it, like, okay, well, all right, and stuff like that. But you put it in the back burner, right? And first off, there's multiple stories that's layered into this, right? And I don't know if either story is related, but I'm gonna get into it, right? Back at maybe 2 months ago, right? You have a popular basketball analyst at the time, at right now. He's big right now, and y'all know who I'm talking about. His name is uh, Kendrick Perkins, right? He's a big analyst right now. Um, Everybody knows about him. He does multiple shows on ESPN. He and he does he does multiple stuff on shows shows on he does multiple stints on First Take with Stephen A. He's on NBA Today. He's doing his thing right now in the NBA media. Like, he's doing his thing. Um, and there was something that he got into that, I'm not gonna lie. Um, it kind of it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, right? And it rubbed me the wrong way because, and I'm not, and it's crazy because I am not even that race, and it rubbed me the wrong way. Back a couple of months ago, there was a hot topic in the MVP debate with Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. All right, and Kendrick Perkins out of nowhere, he started talking about um saying that like 80% of the NBA voters was white, and the voters for the NBA MVP, 80% of voters for the NBA MVP award are white, right? And and he said um that that is one of the reasons why um there's certain MVPs that who are white that win certain win that award. So now my things is like this, like when he was saying that, and he was pretty much saying like the reason why Jokic won an MVP was because the voters were 80% white. And listen, like lately, there's a lot of stuff going on with this Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff. Um, and before I continue, I'm gonna read a story because this story talks about um how he talks about how he apologized. Right. The story is Fox Sports News, and it says ESPN issues a public apology after Kendrick Perkins claimed NBA MVP voters were predominantly white. ESPN publicly corrected first take panelist, former NBA center Kendrick Perkins, following his notion that NBA voters are predominantly white, which has led to Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic winning multiple MVP awards. Co-host Molly Kern began Wednesday episode of the popular sports debate show with the statement correcting Perkins' comment on Tuesday that 80% of NBA voters were white, claiming it was a fact. And she says, I want to correct something here from yesterday's show. Kern started off when Kendrick Perkins said 80% of NBA voters for the MVP award are white. The NBA publicly announces that voters each year, and after review, it is clear the panel is much more diverse than was portrayed by Kendrick Perkins, and we wanted to make sure we corrected that today. There were 100 voters for the league MVP last year per the NBA, and there will be 100 again this year. Perkins was among the voters last year. The argument by Perkins began last week when he noted only three players since 1990 winning MVP despite being out of the top 10 in points per game. Jokic in 2021 to win his first MVP, Dirk Nowitzki 2006, and Steve Nash from 05 and 06. And then he dropped this comment. What do those guys have in common? I'll set it here and marinate. You think about it, Perkins said to co-host Stephen A. JJ Redick, who played 15 NBA seasons as a sharpshooter, slammed Perkins' comments on Tuesday. Stephen A. Smith, I mean, no offense to you. I mean, no offense to First Take, because I think this show is extremely valuable, Redick prefaced. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we just witnessed is the problem with this show. Where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication that you are implying that white voters that vote NBA awards are racist and they favor white people. And you just said that. That's exactly what you implied. Kendrick Perkins Reddick said his former NBA colleague shook his head. I did not. Perkins replied and added, I stated facts. Perkins later said he appreciated Reddick's conversation because it needed to be had. He added that his take came about how came about due to how a lot of former African American players have been feeling for decades. Charles Barkley also said his piece on the matter, saying, does he know how many voters are white actually, or did he pull 80%, 80% out of his a bleep? My point is, if only 5 white guys have won the MVP in the last 30 years, that makes zero sense. His argument, zero sense. Jokic, a double double, and his MVP had averaged a double double in MVP seasons in the last 2 years. The Denver Star is averaging 24.4, 11.8 rebounds, and 10 assists this season, and is well on his way to another MVP award. Jokic is currently averaging a triple double with 24.4 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. His 24.4 points per game ranks 20th in the NBA, but he's third in rebounds and fourth in assists in the Western Conference. Top team in the Nuggets. Okay, so this is what I had to say when he made that comment. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of stuff going on that's created a culture of like black against white. I get it. Listen, man, I get it. Back in the days, we were slaves and all that, and we us as a race has endured some really deep pain, has endured really deep suffering, and we still to this day, from time to time, you know, experience that set of segregation, or that set of not blatant racism, but sometimes racism from a mask, or racism in terms of not direct, but you can feel where someone is coming from sometimes and stuff like that. I get it. Us as black people, we still from time to time experience that. You know what I'm saying? I'll give an example. Um, you know, uh, One time I was in the LA Fitness, and I came in and I didn't have a ticket, or I didn't have like any way to scan my LA Fitness ticket and stuff like that. And then there was somebody there who treated me a certain way, and then when another race came in with the same situation as me, and treated them completely differently. So my mindset was like, that was one of my first times really feeling that way, because I'm like, dang, like, you just treated this exact person, but okay, we're different races. You treated them completely different and you were that race as well. You treated me completely differently compared to when he came in with the same problem. And I'm not saying that this person was racist. All I'm saying is, for some reason, that the racist thought came to my mind, right? And so my thing is like this, you know, as a black man, you know, yes, we've dealt with that. Yes, we have, some from time to time you still experience it, but also I'm gonna just keep it real, bro. Like, we live in, like, for me, I live in Miami. Like, I live in Florida. Like, I live in Miami. I work in Florida. Stuff like that. I work in South Florida, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't feel like I experience racism on a day to day basis. I feel like I'm treated pretty fairly on a day to day basis. Like, and I feel like, in this world like that we live in right now, we are leaps and bounds in a better situation than our ancestors was back then. We can agree to that. Am I right, Mitch? We can agree to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now, when Kendrick Perkins came and brought up that notion that it was 80% NBA voters, which probably maybe it is, I don't know. But the fact to tell me to make a notion, and when JJ Redick came and pushed him on it and pressed him on it, that's when he was like, "Oh, that's not what I was trying to say." No, that's exactly what you were trying to say. You were trying to say that there's 80% of white voters. So because there's 80% white voters, those 80% are gonna tend go towards voting a white player. That has to be like, if that's not the whole core of your argument, then what was the point of even bringing that up, right? And I'm sitting there watching the TV, and I'm like, man, as a black man to another black man, I ain't gonna lie, big dog, I kind of disagree with you, big dog, because guess what? I remember when Michael Jordan won 6 MVPs. I remember when LeBron James won 3. I remember when Kobe won 1 or 2. I remember when all these other black players throughout these years won all these MVPs, and Charles Barkley said it. The last 30 years, there's been 25 black MVPs and 5 white MVPs. So you saying that, oh, it's facts, right? And I'm looking at it like, well, the facts show that there's 25 NBA players that was voted MVP and they were black, and there was only 5 MVP, 5 players on there's only 5 instances where a white player has won it. So my thing is like, it didn't make sense to me because I kind of disagree with you because the NBA, I'm not gonna lie to you, the NBA has shown way more of an inclusion, way more of a togetherness when it comes to the race relations, in my opinion, than the NFL. There are times where I'm not gonna lie to you, the NFL has made progress, but the NFL to this day still has some type of notion of some type of like racist or race tension. There's still some type of racial tension in the environment of the NFL to this day. It's gotten better within leaps and bounds, but there's more of that in the NFL. I'll give you that than the NBA. NBA, in my opinion, is the model of inclusion, and is the model of transparent. It's like they are exemplary when it comes to diversity and whatnot. So I completely disagree with him. All right. So now here's the thing. Now I'm going to pivot to another story, right? And I'm just bringing this up because now there are people online that are connecting this story to that story. And the person that I'm going to talk about is somebody that I love dearly. Like, I love this guy, right? And the fact that he is even being mentioned in this story is, I'm like, damn, bro, what you do that? Like, what you do that for, bro? Like, really? So now, I'm not saying that this is why he did that, but all I'm saying is that he is now involved in that story. And he just put out a tweet. He just put out a tweet to absolve himself because my boy was about to get killed for the next 24 hours. And this story just happened, right? So now, let's get into the story. A while back, the MVP votes came out. We know Joel Embiid won the MVP, right? We know that. But I'm not going to lie. This year has been a nasty year when it comes to the MVP voting. I'm not going to lie. Kendrick Perkins kind of made the conversation of the MVP voting. He made it kind of a dark conversation. He made it a little bit of he put a little dirt on the conversation, bro. He made the conversation, which every year is one of the main conversations throughout the year, he made that conversation a little bit more uncomfortable than it should have been. And I'm blaming Kendrick Perkins for that, right? And did it have to get to that type of conversation? Did it have to get like that? No, it didn't have to. But he brought it. He made it that way. He put that type of conversation out there, right? Now, Joel Embiid won the MVP. We all know that. But when the votes came out, there was a like everybody's seen like all the votes, right? Who got voted for this and that. Nikola Jokic was voted on the MVP ballot on all the voters' ballots, right? Except for one person, right? Except for one person. But nobody knows who that voter was. Nobody knows who that voter was, right? And Charles Barkley and other people were like, man, like, how do you, like Nikola Jokic is a two-time MVP. And he was clearly the number two candidate behind Joel Embiid, going neck and neck to win the MVP award, right? So now on a MVP ballot, you don't even put. There's 5 sections. You can put 5 players on the MVP ballot, right? Joel Embiid could be number 1. Nikola Jokic should be number 2. Giannis could be number 3. And then you can put 2 other players, whoever the heck you want. Jimmy Butler, Kenneth Alexander, anybody you want, right? One voter put. I'm looking at it right now. One voter put Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Donovan Mitchell, and did not put Nikola Jokic on the ballot. So now everybody's like, who the heck this voter is, bruh? And then that's when Charles was like, see, this is the problem. People like that who does not put Nikola Jokic on the ballot should get their vote taken away from them. Because guess what? Who in the right mind does not think that Nikola Jokic doesn't deserve to be on the ballot? He was runner-up for MVP. So why is he not on the ballot? So you clearly did not put him on the ballot because it was personal reasons. Or you just didn't like the dude. Or now there's a story that's being linked with this story is that, oh, he probably did that because of what Kendrick Perkins said. So now he's trying to make a point for Kendrick Perkins and not put Nikola Jokic on the ballot because he's black. Because now we found out who it was. And we were shocked when we found out who it was. I was shocked when I found out who it was. And the internet, I'm talking about this happened like an hour and a half ago while I'm driving over here. And the internet started blazing when they found out who it was. Ladies and gentlemen, that person was Mark Jackson. Right? Mark Jackson, the former head coach of the Golden State Warriors, and the current TNT ESPN commentator on ESPN on ESPN. So now you have Mark Jackson, a prominent individual, and the NBA and the NBA announcing world, stuff like that. A black man. Now everybody's roasting Mark Jackson, and I'm not gonna lie. When I seen it happen, I'm like, man, because look, Charles Barkley even said this person must not watch basketball. To not put Nikola Jokic, not even top 5, not even top 5 in the ballot, right? You must not be watching basketball. Not only does he watch basketball, but he announces it every other night for ESPN. Not only does he watch basketball, but he was a former NBA coach for the Golden State Warriors, right? So now he's getting roasted. Everybody's like, "Mama, there goes that man." I'm talking about the memes are coming out. You got people saying, "Man, hand down, man down." hand down, man down. And I'm like, oh, not my boy Mark Jackson. Why you did that, bro? You tripping. I'm talking about the man getting killed. And I'm not going to lie to you. My mind says like this. Now, the ugly story where Kendrick Perkins is coming back up, saying, oh, he did that because of what Kendrick Perkins said, this and that. He didn't do that as a fair basketball mind. He did it based off of an ugly, nasty thought of, quite frankly, of racism. Not racism on the on Caucasian part, but the racism from the black man towards the white man perspective, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you. Now that I found when that came out, I'm like, damn, bro. Now this ugly story's gonna come back. Now the story about racism and this and that is gonna come back when we are leaps and bounds better than that now. And the fact that we're still making this a prominent story, I get it. I get the importance of it. I get the history of it. But for it to become a prominent story, it really becomes ugly and uncomfortable at certain times, right? And I'm like, dang, now we're going to get back to this. So now he's getting roasted. That story is coming back out and stuff like that. And quite honestly, Mark Jackson, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I have to hold you accountable, my boy. Like, how in God's green earth do you not put Nikola Jokic on the ballot? I mean, I don't understand that. You're better than that. And now I've been trying to rack my brain around it. He just put out a tweet right now saying, I made an honest mistake with my MVP votes. My apologies to Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. He is not only a legitimate MVP candidate who deserves my vote, but he is truly one of the all-time greats. Again, my apologies. Right? Now, everybody said, okay, he says it was a mistake and stuff like that. But my boy, you finna get ran through the mud at least for 24 to 48 hours. I'm not finna do that to you. I'm just gonna say, before the tweet, before you came and apologized and said and admitted you made a mistake, we got to take a man's word. If he says it was a mistake, it was a mistake. If he wanted to stand on it, he could have stand on it. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Skip Bayless, when he makes a controversial take, he's not going to back down on it. He'll come back the next day, but listen, I stand on that. I'm not apologizing for nothing I said. That's exactly what I meant. So I give people like Skip Bayless credit when they stand on something that even though it rubs a lot of other people the wrong way, and if he feels that's what it was, it is what it is. He stand on that. You got to respect the man's mind. Now him, if he really felt what he felt, he would have stood on it. He said, no, I'm not going to stand on it because that was actually a mistake. And not only was that a mistake, I'm going to apologize to Nikola Jokic on Twitter to let him know that, listen, you deserve my vote. And again, he apologized, right? So now, he came out and apologized, and that's just my opinion on that, and that's our take. That's the take. That's what I wanted to just share. And it's crazy because I wasn't expecting to share his apology with this story because I guess that's an example right there. That's how fluent and that's how fluid that this story is, because literally this story came out and was really brewing as I was driving down here, man. Like, so, yeah, that's the first segment. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna get into some other things. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody listening to me on Hosanna Radio every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. Thank you for everybody supporting me and listening to me on the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And also thank you for everybody listening to me on the Facebook show, on the Do Sports Show. on Facebook Live. Thank you for everything. I'll be right back. We're back and better than ever. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. We had some games last night. Um, we got the Heat versus the Knicks, and I'm surprised. I mean, you know what? I'll take that back. But we got NBA basketball last night, man, and you know we had some good games, and you had teams that were on brink of elimination, and you got the Heat versus the Knicks, and the Knicks, man, kudos to them. They stayed alive. They pulled it out. Um, Jalen Brunson had to play had to play the whole game. Jalen Brunson played 48 minutes last night. Only time he had a break was timeouts. That's it. He did not sit down. The only time he sat down was timeouts. Let's put this in perspective, guys. Jalen Brunson scored 38 last night, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. And listen, man, I'm happy for the man. The man got his money. You know, 4 years, $105 million. And he's worth every penny. Dak Nabbit, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. You know how this is pretty much the equivalent of Jalen Brunson. All right. Let's say I'm looking to buy a house. I'm looking to buy a house, and I found a house that I like, $228,000. Right? And you're like, cool. You know what? I'm interested in this house. Let me take a look. Take a look. All right. You know, I'm interested in this house, man. And right now, hopefully it's still in the market in a couple of months, 2-3 months. And if it is, you have your man. I gotta get some stuff in order. I gotta get my ordeals in order. Gotta get my down payment in order. I gotta get my 3% in order. I gotta get everything in order, right? I gotta get my title fees in order. I gotta get everything in order, right? The down payment in order, and I can get that in order in 3 months, right? Listen to me. So now, 3 months from now you're like, okay, this house $228,000, right? Cool. From time to time, you're looking at the phone. Oh, it's still on. It's still up for sale. It's still up for sale. Okay, cool. Right? Mind you, within these 3 months, COVID hit, right? People talking about closures. People talking about restrictions, stuff like that. People talking about quarantine and stuff like that, right? Then all of a sudden, 3 months pass by. You already know a couple of people that caught COVID. You already know a couple of people that's on quarantine right now, scared for their life. Yeah, work saying, hey man, this is something different, guys. I mean, you just gotta bear with us, guys. I mean, we're gonna get this through together. We're gonna get through this together, guys. I mean, it's something new. Just be safe, all right? All right, keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, all right? And all that jazz. Meanwhile, you about to buy a house. You're like, okay, I got everything in order. Let me call the realtor. Hey, what's up? I'm ready. Ready for what? I'm ready to get that house, man. Is that house still for sale? Yeah, it's still for sale. You ready to get it? Yeah, I'm ready. All right, let's go. All right. So 228,000, man. That's a good deal, man. Uh, yeah, that was the price 3 months ago. Um, yeah. So what's the price now? I'm pretty. I know sometimes, you know, the ebbs and flows of the market. It goes up and it goes down. So how much did it go up to? About up by like what 15,000 or something like that, 20,000. No, it went up 130,000. It is now 350,000. No longer 228,000. Now you're like, what? Hold up. What just happened? I don't know, man. The market just, out of nowhere. Because that's exactly what happened with COVID. When COVID hit, me and all other Haitians was licking our lips and was like, ooh, stuff about to go down. Stuff is about to go be cheap. We about to get some deals. We about to buy some duplexes and some condos and whatnot on a cheap price. And we finna rent them for a good price. We finna make, hey, that's our retirement, baby. We here. Right? The government said, not so fast, my friend. Right? All of a sudden, instead of everything going down, everything skyrocketed. Damn near double. Right? To this day, I call Billy all the time. Like, man, I don't know how this market just, doubled like this. This shit should have went down, man. Hey, Billy, man, this stuff should have went down. What's going on? Now, same thing happened to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, I have to continue bringing this up, dog, because for me to see this, and it's not being brought up enough. Jalen Brunson and his representative and his dad, who is now an assistant coach with the New York Knicks, literally on the sideline watching his son ball. Right? And Jalen Brunson and his representation and his dad was ready to sign a 4-year, $55 million with Dallas. He was eligible for that extension. The Dallas Mavericks said, nope, we'll see you at the end of the season. And in the season, I'm going to be a free agent. Dallas is thinking that $228,000 house is going to stay there and be there in 3 months. Little did they know that out of nowhere, COVID was about to hit. You know what I'm saying? In terms of Jalen Brunson, the COVID, which I'm not trying to, let me downplay the seriousness of COVID by any chance. Like, that's a disclaimer. I'm not just downplaying the seriousness of COVID. There's a lot of people that, I know that died. We have a lot of family lost people. So don't get it twisted. I'm not, joking around about COVID, right? That's a disclaimer. My thoughts goes out to those families who lost people with COVID, during COVID. Now, all of a sudden, Dallas Mavericks, they think that house is going to stay $228,000. Then COVID hit. And what was the COVID with Jalen Brunson? The playoffs. That playoffs hit last year, Jalen Brunson was a different man. Jalen Brunson figured it out. He went from scoring 18 points, 16 points, 18 points to 25, 27 points a game alongside what's his name? What's the dude from Dallas, the star from Dallas? Luka Doncic. Alongside Luka Doncic, right? They made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. All of a sudden, they're like, you know what? We made it to the Western Conference Finals. You have proved to us that you are a bona fide star next to Luka Doncic. We are now ready to buy this house for $228,000. Yeah, that was 3 months ago. Now it's $355,000. Wait, what? Price just went up. Dallas Mavericks came back to Jalen Brunson and his representative and said, hey, we're ready for you to sign that $40 to $55 million contract. Jalen Brunson and his representative and his dad looking like, did you see what just happened in the playoffs? I damn near averaged 30 alongside Luka Doncic. Right? Price just went up, buddy. We want 4 years, 105 now. Whoa. 4 years, 105. That's double. Price went up, buddy. Right? Snooze, you lose. But it was too little too late. Jalen Brunson already had his sights set in New York. I know that song singing. Yeah. I forgot who it is. New York, New York, New York. Dun, 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 dun. Right? Alicia Keys, my girl. Now, not only has his sights in New York, but the New York Knicks said, listen, we'll sign your old boy, and he'll be a coach on the sidelines with the head coach. And then he can eventually get his experience and become his own head coach. Jalen Brunson said, what? You'll do that for me and my pops? That's love. New York, New York, New York. Dun, 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 dun. Right? He ended up having a New York state of mind. He now had a New York state of mind. He signed over there for 4 years, 105, man. Damn near double. Right? The market sparked up just like it did during COVID. Right? Now, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Public service announcement. The minute Jalen Brunson signed that 4 years, $105 million, and within the first month of the season, granted, Jalen Brunson signed a contract that damn near double what he originally was going to sign. He signed 4 years, $105 million with New York, and within a month, my boy Jalen Brunson is underpaid. Within a month, he's underpaid. Jalen Brunson is not worth 4 years, $105 million anymore. And kudos to the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson wanted 5 years, $100 million. They said, here, we give you 5 years, and we'll add another $5 million to it. 5 years, 105. Just to show good faith. And to sweeten up the pot, we're going to sign your old boy. So now every time out, now every time you practice, you're going to be with your pops. Right? And within a month, I kid you not, bro. I don't care what nobody say. New York Knicks signed him to a 4 year, $105 million deal. I guarantee you, they did not expect Jalen Brunson to be this good. They thought he was going to be okay. They thought he was going to be a good player. I mean, Mitch, you know, we all think him as a good player. Yeah, he's a decent player. But we did not expect him. We did not expect him to be this good of a player. And I guarantee you, New York Knicks did not expect him to be this good of a player. He just played 48 minutes last night and scored 38 points in a playoff game. Kudos to the New York Knicks. The fortunes has finally turned around on your side, because usually you would end up with the bad deals. You would end up like, what's the cars? Whenever you buy a new car from the car lot, and then within a month, 2 months, it just has multiple problems and whatnot. Like, I remember one time, Billy was talking to me one time. He was like, man, I bought a car, man. Or was he talking about his friend or somebody who bought a car from the brand new car. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, within 3 months, it just wasn't working. Within 3 months, it was just giving problems and whatnot. And the Billy was like, man, my boy just bought a lemon. That's what they call it. Ain't that what they call it, Mitch? We buy a brand new car from the lot, and then all of a sudden, 3-4 months later, babe, I'm stuck on the road. Can you come get me? Can you come get me, babe? Hey, babe, do we got AAA? Dang, I gotta do an account right now. All right, cool. All right, how much money we got in the account, babe? We got enough to because you know they're gonna ask for like $150 up front just to start the account. All right, babe. Now you don't call, set up an account for AAA. So now you can bring it to the dealership and all this other stuff, because now you don't got a limit. New York Knicks has always historically been on that side. Mm-hmm. Been on that side of deals when it comes to, perfect example, no disrespect to Amar'e Stoudemire. Mm-hmm. They signed Stoudemire to 4 years, $100 million. The man only lasted half the season. Till All-Star. He made the All-Star year. After that, the man couldn't jump no more. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. And it's crazy because that year, he played so good in the beginning of the season that he was an MVP candidate. He played so well that first half of the year. In his first year in New York, right? And then guess what? After the All-Star break, he couldn't jump anymore. His knees was done. But guess what? Amar'e Stoudemire was like, hey, I got a New York state of mind. 4 years, $100 million. I'm finna chill. I'm finna be in treatment. I'm finna get my knees rubbed. Hey, if we gotta do some procedures, I'm gonna do procedures. Because guess what? I'm finna milk. Back in the day, me and my homeboy, I used to work for Office Depot, right? And this is side story. I used to work Office Depot down over there on 441 with my boy. Shout out to my boy Max. Me and my boy Max, we finished what we doing, right? And the assistant manager would be like, hey, y'all can go ahead and clock out. Mind you, the assistant manager's still in the back of the store doing his thing, right? So now we in the front of the store by the computer, and we here for the clock out right now. Let's continue. And then we had created a song, Milkman, Milkman. So guess what? We was milking the clock. So until he finally came to the front and be like, y'all signed out. Then all of a sudden, hey, we're doing it right now, man. And then now what y'all doing, man? I've been told y'all to sign out, man. Clock out, man. And it was like 20 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? Damn near 30 minutes. Hey, we used to look at each other. Milkman, Milkman. Amar'e Stoudemire started milking it for 3 years. He could not play. And then before the All-Star break, after the All-Star break, they traded for Carmelo Anthony, right? When they traded for Carmelo Anthony for the Denver Nuggets, before they traded for Carmelo Anthony, they had a good team. They had Danilo Gallinari. They had all these good players that was with Amar'e Stoudemire. When you traded for Carmelo Anthony, you sent all those players to the Denver Nuggets, and now you were stuck with just Carmelo Anthony and Amar'e Stoudemire on one leg. The New York Knicks have historically, shouts out to Philip. Shouts out to Philip. he bringing up the lemons. The New York Knicks has historically been on the bad end of these deals, bro. And this is the first time. Listen, a lot of people got on the New York Knicks for not trading for what's his name? The dude in Cleveland. What's the guy in Cleveland that came from Utah? Donovan? What's his name? Donovan Simmons, whatever his name is. For the New York Heat. Let me do that. We got Cavaliers. I think it's Donovan Simmons. I'm tripping on their names right now. Right? They got on the New York Knicks, Donovan Mitchell. That's what I meant to say. They got on New York Knicks so bad for not trading for Donovan Mitchell. Stephen A was so bad that the New York Knicks did not trade for Donovan Mitchell, making a hoopla. Oh my God, sob story. You didn't sign for Donovan Mitchell. Okay, we signed for Donovan Mitchell. You're trading away. You would be trading away. Yeah, Mitchell. Appreciate that, Mitch. You would be trading away all your assets. You would be trading away all your young players. You'll be trading away quickly. You'll be trading away that you got that good young backup center that's going to be a beast when he gets better. You will be trading away Hartenstein. You'll be trading away JJ Barrett. They would have asked a whole lot. You would be trading away a whole bunch of first round picks for Donovan Mitchell, for somebody who, quite frankly, is a one-man show. Look what happened to Cleveland. Cleveland was not supposed to be out in the first round. He ended up just being a one-man show. You got Darius Garland over there. Mark my words, eventually Darius Garland will want out because guess what? The offense is catered towards Mitchell and it's not flowing. It's not a passing offense. Like, it's not sharing the ball. So my thing is like, the Knicks did a great job just saying, you know what? We're not going to go for Donovan Mitchell. Let's go for Jalen Brunson. He wants to be here. And that's another problem. You got Kevin Durant. You got Kyrie Irving. They had opportunities to come to New York. They decided to go to Brooklyn, across the street, in a different borough, instead of going to New York. You know what? They eventually, the Knicks said, you know, we're going to keep our assets. We're going to keep our young players that we've been developing in the last couple of years. We're going to keep all our draft picks, right, that we have for the next few years. And guess what? We're going to sign somebody who wants to be here. Jalen Brunson wants to come here and wants to be here, and he plays really good. He played really well, Dallas. Let's give him a shot. Let's give him 4 years, $105 million. Guess what? They struck gold. He is now underpaid. The minute he started playing for the New York Knicks, bro. The New York Knicks has not had a star like this in a long time. And Jalen Brunson to come out there, play 48 minutes, and score 38 points. Come on, man. Tell me the last time the Knicks had a star like that. Don't get it twisted. You got Julius Randle. He ball out, 24 points and stuff like that. But I don't care what nobody say. The engine, the V8 engine is Jalen Brunson, man. And I don't care what nobody say. Shouts out to the Knicks for doing that. And we're going to take a quick break. After the break, a final segment, and we're going to be out of here. Thank you for tuning in. This is Do Sports Show on Hosanna Radio. It's also on Facebook Live, on Facebook, and also later on after, I'll be uploading the episodes on Apple and also Spotify. Thank you for tuning in. This is Do Sports Show. We'll be right back.